This is now my video doing my data walkthrough through all the math that I did for my project. And also I want to say before I get started, if I look down, I have my notebook right here, my beautiful purple pen. This is not my purple pen, but it's written in purple. Uh, I just want to have it so I can make sure I cover everything that I need to. But moving forward, I, for my questionnaire, it was 7 questions, and the way you answer is by checking off strongly agree, agree, neutral, disagree, or strongly disagree. So the way I added these scores up was that I made strongly agree worth 5 points and went 4, 3, 2, 1. So for example, if someone checked off agree, that would be worth 4 points. And I did that for every single question. So then I went to Excel, and as you can see, have the participant ID. They're numbered 1 through 21. Next, the group. G stands for grad school, and the UG stands for undergrad. And we have all of the questions for the study and each person's score for that particular question. And the way I got the raw score was from adding up all of their questions in total. And also, I want to make note that participant 9 only answered the first 2 questions of my questionnaire. So I decided not to put anything right here as well. I did not count him in any of the mean, standard deviation, or any other further math that was required because I didn't want it to mess up my data. And then from there, found my mean from using these two, well, the raw scores, except for the three, and then the same for the standard deviation. And on the left here is my bell curve, which I made to normalize our score. And the way I created it was by taking the mean, putting it in the middle. And as you can see, the standard deviation was 5.27. So what I did, I added from the mean and consistently added 5.27. And then on the left, I subtracted 5.27. Then I went to SPSS, which I will now go to now on my screenshots. So for study one, I have the class on the left and the score on the right. The class being the independent variable and the score being the dependent variable. So the ones are the grads and then two are the undergrads and then are all of their scores. From there, I did a one sample t-test, and as you can see, I put the test variable, which would be the scores on the right. And for the test value, I got 21, and I did this by I found it by finding the range and midpoint out of the max score, which was 35, since the highest you could get on each question was 5 points, and there are 7 questions, which makes it 35. And that number was 21. And then from there, I pressed OK and got my results, which I will now show. This was my results for study one, and I used these math answers or results to do my write-up in my results section for my PowerPoint. And then I went back to Excel and I did my bar graph. First, I had, once again, my mean, standard deviation, and my test value. And so I made a bar graph to do the comparison of average score to the test value. So on the left is the average, and the right is the test value. And once again, this was found by these right here, the average and test value. And now we will start study two. So for study two, I went back to SPSS, which I will do right now. Show my screenshots. So for study two, as you can see, it's once again class and score, with on the left being the participants and on the right being their scores, class being the independent and score being the dependent. From there, I went to value labels to show the one standing for grad and the two standing for undergrad. Then I did an independent samples t-test and set it up like this and pressed OK, and it gave me my results, which I will now share with you. This is it. Sorry. This is my results from SPSS after plugging in that information that I screenshotted. And that's how I did my write-up for my results on the PowerPoint for study two. And then I went back to Excel and I made this table consisting of the grad mean and the standard deviation and the undergraduate mean and their standard deviation. And I made another bar graph which shows the grad versus undergrad test scores. And the G, once again, stand for grad, UG undergrad. There's score range 0 to 35 and class. And that is how I did my math and all my data for my project.